ConvertBox review. In this video, we're going to cover how ConvertBox is easy to use, who some of their competitors are, and actually how to use it. So let's dive right in. Yeah, if you go to the ConvertBox website, you're going to see this. And right now they're kind of in a beta version, so you have to request an invite, or if you can get a direct link from somebody, that will get you in. But as an example over here on the right, this is an example of a ConvertBox. In this case, it has a picture of the person at the top there. It's got a message, a header, a subheading. There's actually a video embedded. It looks like they're collecting an email address where you can click claim your discount now. And they've got a countdown timer. So that's pretty much all the features that get put into ConvertBox. Scroll down a little bit and it just kind of leads you to know what's going on. You can target visitors specifically, for instance, that have been on your site, who've already signed up and have been added to your mailing list. And of course, you can help with boosting sales, reducing cart abandonment, that type of stuff. They do have two-step call to actions, a very simple, ask a question type thing. Click here to submit and takes them to the next step. So if you go through here, you'll get an idea of what's possible. Countdown timers, you can segment people, and you can actually speak directly to them with their information. And actually that's not quite out there yet, but it will be soon. And right now there's a few different styles. You can slide in from the side. They're going to have a notification bar on top, a modal window that pops up in the middle, and a full page display. And you can trigger that based on either people trying to leave the page or clicking a pop-up or a certain amount of time has passed. And just about everything's customizable, and they will have a different editor coming out relatively soon. And here's some examples of what you can do. If somebody already has a tag or not, or has visited a particular page, you can display different convert boxes. And you know what? Instead of keep scrolling down, let's just dive right into the account here. So as an example, here's an account I have. You can have multiple websites, and it gives you a dashboard right here that tells you how many people, clicks, leads, etc. over different time frames, and you can look at views, clicks, or leads. Down below, this is kind of where you do the work. Now, first off, you're going to want to have at least one campaign. And within that, you will have at least one ConvertBox. And what I've done is typically have a campaign per site type thing. And then whatever ConvertBoxes are appropriate for that site, I put inside that campaign. So for instance, for this site, I've got 4 different ConvertBoxes that could run. I'm just going to close that. And before we go too far, I guess there's stats. You can just be a little more specific on what you want to see. And there's some account settings. For instance, you can update your profile, the embed code, which is nice, it's generic. You can use a WordPress plugin, of course, if you have WordPress. They give you the exact code to embed. And the nice thing is, even if you update your ConvertBox, you do not need to update the code that's involved. Or you can simply send the instructions to a developer and have them install it, which is basically take this code and go ahead and embed that. What else is there? Settings, let me see what that looks like. Oh, right. You can connect to a number of different email systems in general and some other ones. I'm using ActiveCampaign, but it looks like Aweber or Infusionsoft, Ontraport, number of different emails. You can have a custom HTML form. And what else was there? Billing, I don't think we need to really go through there, but let's go back to the dashboard and show you an example. So let's go into this campaign, and we're going to edit this ConvertBox, and I'll show you what you can do. But there are some nice things. You can look at specific stats. You could reset if you want, clone it, which is a great feature. Makes it easy just to make some slight modifications. And then you can move to a site or delete. But I'm going to go ahead and edit this, but let me just show you first the preview. So in this case, I know this is the full window takeover, and that's all it is. It's got a picture of me, the name, and then it's got a call to action, and then the email address, which is connected to ActiveCampaign. I'll show you that specifically. So there's the name, and what's nice is you just click along the top. Next will take you to the next step, and I think there's a back once you get going, and you can save it, exit it, but we basically go through setup, customize, display, and targeting. So I gave it a name, and I associate it with a particular campaign, and then you choose the type of ConvertBox you want to use. So you could do the bar on the top, you could have it slide in or center modal and full page. So I'm using a full page, but let me just show you, for instance, if I do the center modal, and I'm going to go to the next step. And this is where you get to change the look and feel. And this is what it looks like. So let me actually go back, change it to a bar, and then show you what it looks like. And then one more time, or actually two more, because I'm going to show you a few different ones. I'm going to go back, and actually I am doing a full page on this one. And this is where you get to customize. And if you notice, if you run your mouse over it, you can see that it highlights different sections. So for instance, if I click on this, I can now click and edit the text. And I have some limited capabilities on formatting. So I can make it bold, underline, italics, or I could strike through. Now, if I go back here and I click on layout options, you can see the different things. I've enabled the profile, which is this picture up here. So let me toggle that on and off. There's the headline, on and off. I could have a subheadline, I didn't. I could have an image, I didn't. I could embed a video, but I didn't. I definitely have the button. No I don't. Yes I do. No I don't. Opt-in form. Now, one thing is notice, watch what happens when I toggle button and watch what happens to the opt-in form. It turns one off or turns the other on. So I'm going to go back down here and do opt-in, and I can have a countdown timer. So I'm going to double click on that, and the length of the countdown timer, it depends on whether it starts if the visitor views the ConvertBox, or do you just want to hard code in a date. So if I wanted to hard code in a date, I could do something like that. And what time of day do you want it to expire, which is nice. Change the color, the labels can be changed, days, minutes, hours, seconds. I'm not going to do anything like that. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to use this. So I'm going to go back here and turn this off. Here's probably the feature you're going to like the most. So I clicked on this. I can edit this. I could start typing and change that. But really I want to go to setup form actions. And I've set, for instance, when somebody subscribes, a URL that they can redirect to. I could simply show them a thank you message, but I want them to go to a specific page because I'm actually tracking. I could pass the form values in the URL parameters and maybe pick those up on the thank you page if I want to. But from here, I'm going to click on setup form actions. And this is kind of where the magic happens. So when a form is submitted, what do you want to have happen? So I'm doing two things. I'm putting them onto a list, and then I'm adding them to an automation. So let's just say I want to do a third thing. So you want to select the integration, and I've got Integrate Pro and another ActiveCampaign account. I've also got the webhook capability. I'm not going to use that, but I'm just showing you. Let's go back to Integrate Pro. And then decide what I want to do. I want to add them to a list, remove them, add them to an automation, remove them, add them to a tag, remove a tag, add a new tag, or add them to a form. So I definitely have a lot of options there. So for instance, I might do that. And then it's nicely will show me all the lists that I have. Same with, for instance, automations. And I know I've got a lot here. You can't see them all, but there's definitely a lot of them. Anyways, that is probably one of the most powerful features of ConvertBox. And then going on to the next step. Once you got it the way you like it, just simply go to next. And along the way, if you want, you can click on save. Now, show this ConvertBox on pages on my website. So I want them to click on a link, and I have to add this code to the link that they click on. Alternatively, I could have it if they want to leave the page, if they've been inactive for a period of time, do they scroll to a certain percentage of the page, or just show after a specific amount of time. And that one is very appropriate for mobile versus if they try to leave. So as far as I know, you can't tell if somebody's trying to leave until they've left. whereas on a desktop you can indicate somebody's leaving by their mouse going up to the top. You can also show it immediately or show it immediately as a welcome mat above your page, which basically pushes the content down. And this one, I believe, if I remember right, yeah, you can basically wrap ConvertBox around an external web page. Now, I'd be careful on this. Now, some people don't like having their content wrapped or iframed by somebody else, but it can certainly be done. So if I go back here, I'm showing this immediately if I want to. Actually, I don't remember how. I think I added as when they click a link. Yeah, there it is. But if I wanted to show it immediately, I could say for how many, for each visitor, for a maximum number of 10 views and how many per day type things. You can really set the rules. And do you want it to display on all pages or specific pages in this case? You can say I want to include these pages, I want to exclude these pages, but notice there are a lot of options. I'm going to go back to the way it was, which is if a visitor clicks a link on my page, I want somebody to proactively do that. Moving on next to targeting, you can set a goal and you stop showing this if they visit a specific page. In my case, what I'm trying to accomplish is get somebody to sign up. And if they actually sign up, they get to a specific page. And once they've seen that page, I don't want them to see a ConvertBox again. So very easy to do that. And then you want to click on Finish. And you can either go to Dashboard or go to Editor. And that's it. It's relatively simple to set up. You choose what you're going to display in what kind of format, what actions you want to have happen, how often do you want people to see it. You need to install the embed code on your website either through a WordPress plugin or hard-coded in, but one way or the other you need to have that on the site. Now, you probably wonder, well, why would I need this if I have something like Thrive Leads? Well, you don't need it. You certainly get a lot more capability with something like this versus what's built into a number of different, for instance, WordPress page builders. It's got a lot more flexibility, gives you a lot more options, and gives you a lot of control over what can happen when somebody visits your site. So that's my ConvertBox review.